Imanov, congratulations. You are now the number one contender. I think this is how this should go. So, guys, I get contacted. James Madison, who's been a tremendously accurate source for me over the years. They never identify your source. James will appreciate the shout out. So, but he'll send me stuff that I got to question a lot. And I don't know how he gets his hands on this. But he always turns out to be right. And he's the first one that tells me, hey, I don't think Fluffy's making the fight. And I'm thinking to myself, if there's anyone that's never pulling out of a fight, it's Fluffy Hernandez. But he says, no, I don't think so. He said, I don't know what happened, but I don't think he's going to be able to fight RDR. He says, as a matter of fact, I know. And I said, well, where are you hearing this? Like, Joseph Morales would probably tell me right away. He would definitely tell me if I asked him, like, where are you getting this? And James didn't have that Fluffy was out. He didn't have that piece of information. What he had was that Paulo Costa was offered it. So by deduction of Paulo Costa being offered the fight against RDR, it means Fluffy's out. Okay. So the way the story goes is Paulo accepted the fight. He said, yeah, I'll do it. But you got to make it 3 rounds. I can't show up on short notice and go all 5. I get that. I think that is a perfectly acceptable answer, and I wish they would have said yes. They are very locked on this policy, of which didn't used to exist, about this 5-round main event. I really wish they would have said yes to Paulo. But before I digress in that direction, if in fact Hernandez and RDR is not going on, can we agree that Imanov is now the number one contender? For sure. I believe we should be able to. But another piece to this story, and guys, you got to understand, when you get stories like this, a lot of times you'll get 5 facts that are true and you'll get 1 that's not. And if you slip 1 in that's not, it kills the entire story. So I'm disclosing to you guys now that this is still coming in. But we do know Hernandez is out. That is confirmed. We do know Paulo Costa was offered the fight and accepted the fight, but they decided to pass because they wanted 5 rounds. They ended up with Brendan Allen. And we do know that Imanov, aside from me saying it right now, has not been named your number one contender. I believe that he should be. I believe we need to stop the music right here. Whether it hurts the promotion of that fight or not, for the integrity of the sport, I truly do believe Imanov is now the guy. Here's the problem, and I can't confirm this. I'm hearing that Imanov was offered the fight. I'm hearing that Imanov himself was offered the fight against RDR. That Imanov said, no, I don't need to take that risk. I don't need to fight him to be the number one contender. I just became the number one contender. I think he's right. All of that makes sense. I will just tell you historically, when guys have dug in, they've dug in because I'm already the such and such, and they declared it to be so, they will get reminded the hard way who makes the decisions around here. Now, I can't even confirm you that Imanov was offered the fight. I'm telling you that I'm hearing he was offered the fight, and it brings me a concern. It brings me a little bit of a concern. If you have a guy that you're going to put in for a world title, one thing that you do need to know, and this all guys, Vince McMahon was this way. In a scripted contest, Vince was this same way. I need to know that you will take on anybody and that you can beat anybody. If you're the true world, if you're going to fight for the world title, then that means that you can win a world title. If you really believe that you can win a world title, then you'll fight anybody. It wouldn't make any bit of difference if you're the baddest dude in the world. It's one of these things. So when this phone call comes, now Imanov didn't deserve that. First off, I can't confirm this phone call even took place. I'm just coming to the theory. What if Imanov got that phone call? He didn't deserve that phone call. He didn't deserve to get blindsided. He did not deserve, after what he just went through, to get asked to do something on short notice. He just doesn't. He truly does not deserve. Let's say he got it. It's really not a fair thing to do. But once it takes place, it still took place. Once the phone call comes, once your voice says, I'm not certain I can beat RDR, there's no other reason to not go fight RDR. I won't fight RDR. I won't fight him on short notice. I won't fight him in this jurisdiction. Whatever you say ties you down the road of, because I'm not certain I can beat him. Well, I can't put you in for a world title and tell the world that either Chimaev's the best or you're the best. We've narrowed it down to you two. I can't do that being armed with the information that you don't believe you can beat this other guy. In fact, if all I got to do is take you guys at your word and all of you say, this is the guy, then I have to assume that's the guy. I can't come in and cheer you up like I'm your father in the 5th grade and go, you're better than you think you are, son. You got to go out there, die golly, and believe in yourself, and you can take on the whole world. It's not like that. RDR accepted the fight. If you don't accept the fight, then RDR believes he can beat you, and you believe that RDR can beat you. I'm sharing with you, this is the psychology. And even Vince McMahon in a scripted battle, he would never put the belt around somebody that he wasn't confident when he's ready to take the belt off of. Or whoever it is he believes should draw into and be the next angle and the working partner with. If he's not positive that he'll never put the belt on him. And you know what? Vince is right. He shouldn't. You shouldn't get the opportunity if you're not willing to go through everybody else. If you're not dying for it and you're hungry, particularly when you're confronted with a guy that said yes, which is RDR. That's where the problem comes. I had a phone call like this one time. I had a phone call from Dana. And I lost an opponent. I can't remember who I was supposed to fight. Yes, I can. Vanderlei Silva. Supposed to fight Vanderlei. Vanderlei pulls out. So Dana calls and tells me. And he goes, man, I got some bad news. He says, Vanderlei's out of this fight. We were building. There was a big promo. We'd done the Ultimate Fighter right at that. This was a big deal to our industry at this time. And Dana goes, no. He said, bro, I haven't got to the bad news yet. And I'm thinking, what could that be? I even remember where I was. Clayton and Uriah Hall were in my garage, started a workout. I had to go inside to take this phone call. Dana said, I haven't got to the bad news yet. So I'm just listening. He goes, you want the bad news? Vitor Belfort accepted the fight. So he's telling me I'm going to face Vitor. And fighting Vanderlei, they call me axe murder. Like that's a very terrifying proposition. And it's not as though Vitor is a less terrifying proposition. I'm just sharing for you. This is how Dana presented this to me when he calls me. Like he's already figured this out. He's got the bad news. He's fixed it. He's ready. He's just about to put a patch on the hole in the boat. He just needs me to say yes. I thought you'd appreciate the story, though. It was very funny how he said, I got bad news. And he goes, no, I haven't got to the bad news. The bad news is I'm asking you right now to fight Vitor Belfort. At any rate, had I said no, you would see where that would be a problem. I was ranked number 2 in the world. You would see where if I say no to the number 4 guy, I'm conceding. Maybe not that he'd beat me, but I'm at least conceding I'm not certain I would beat him. And if Imanov, in fact, did get that phone call, if, in fact, those words were said, which, guys, I don't know that they were. Imanov's going to see this and be pissed off, but that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking, give me the right information. But if that happened, then it would still preserve the idea that whatever's next for RDR, because, see, you don't want to punish RDR. RDR is willing to go through with everything that he said he would, and now he's in a worse spot of fighting somebody totally different. RDR is the star of the story. RDR is the one constant in this story. So you don't want to punish him. And even if Brendan versus RDR is not what you would think of as a number 1 contenders match, you don't want to punish RDR. See, do you see how you have to look at this story just a little bit differently than your first impression? Did Imanov receive a phone call asking to fight RDR? Yes or no? If the answer is no, I am completely confident in telling you, congratulations to Imanov, you will be fighting for the world title next. If Imanov received a phone call asking him to fight RDR, maybe Imanov's next opportunity will be for the world title. But at this point, I cannot guarantee it.